This is a quick 5-minute covering of our Ireland program in the summer of 2016, put on by the Foothill College Anthropology Department. We call it Castles and Communities. And my name is Sam Connell, and I'm one of the professors taking students this summer. And we'll be meeting students in Dublin on June 26th, and students will be returning or leaving the program on July 23rd. So that's a 4-week program. So let me cover it real quickly what you're going to be doing when you go to Ireland. You're going to be excavating in a castle. You're going to be living in the community. You're going to be visiting other important sites that are related to the work we're doing. You're going to be spending 2 days at a cultural heritage center in the town of Wexford, which is a couple hours away. We camp out there and we live the way that they would have lived in medieval times. Here's one of the places that you could stay. This is what the the castle of Ballintober looks like today. It is a large, wide open castle. It has a big courtyard space without what we call a keep in the middle. It has 4 towers on the outside. The towers would have been 3 or 4 stories high, and there's a moat on the outside. As you can see here, it's filled in. What's cool about the castle is that it's right in the community of Ballintober. It's got the same name. And so there's this wonderful relationship that the town has built over time with the castle. And they're interested now in promoting further visitations to the site through tourism, and so we are working with them to not only do archaeology but to have kind of the process developing of how you would utilize the castle in the future if you were a community member. So there's a lot going on, and that's why we call it Castles in Communities. So last summer we did 3 excavations, which you can see on the right-hand side. We call them cuttings in Ireland. There's 1, 2, and 3. The excavations, here's an example of some of the results, exposed the latest or the last architecture that was in the courtyard. And what we're interested is in some of the earlier architecture as well, because we think that the castle was originally built by the Irish before the English got to this location. We laser mapped the site. And we're also doing survey of open fields to the right or east of the site. So here's the castle over here. Here's the village. And then you have a lot of open fields outside of the castle where we think an early village was. So here you see some students doing some ground penetrating survey last year. And the survey found, as you can see here, possible outlines of buildings and walls of a village that would have been attached or adjacent to the castle. So this is really amazing stuff, especially if we can isolate specific structures, and we can do some excavations next summer. Also part of the research project that you'll be taking part in is the laboratory analysis. So we find a lot of metal, bones, some pottery, things like that. And we have a fully operational computer room. It's connected to the internet. And so that's very useful for students who need to do things, and need to write their own projects and things like that. And then there's this other aspect, which we're going to call the anthropology fieldwork, where we're going to immerse you in the culture. We're going to start conducting an oral history project and do some more community outreach. And so the Ballintober, or Ballintubber, as they like to call themselves, has this community council called the Tidy Towns Committee, and the Tidy Towns conducts a Heritage Day, which we took part in last year. There's the opening day when we even started the project. The first day they brought a band out, and it was a wonderful experience as the band played and speeches were made. The village itself is a small little community. There's no stoplights. Here's the stop sign. There's an old schoolhouse in the village, and we use that for as a lecture hall, eating lunch in there, and it's got multi-purpose use. has a full kitchen as well, which is great. We've, as part of working with the community, a lot of the community members wanted to share things that they were interested in. One man who lives nearby has a lot of medieval costumes and swords, so we dressed up. We also take dance lessons, and we were learning a lot of Irish steps. There was fun things like pig races nearby for the Castlereagh Rose Festival. And because of the notoriety that we received in the press last year, the U.S. ambassador wanted to visit, and so he came, and here you see him being toured through some of the artifacts by our students. So if you were to come to Ireland, you have a choice of 12 units of classes between the Applied Anthro, Archaeology Lab, Survey class, Field Methods, and then a general Cultures of the World British Isles class, which we ask that everybody takes. Daily activities would be ranging from applied anthropology, the cultural anthropology, the excavations, the survey, and then you'd have some class time, lectures, and then community time, and some meals, and then nightly events such as the dancing. Here's what dinner would look like if it was being served, and this was from last summer. The main street of Ballintober, some of those houses you see there were rented by the project for the students. In addition, the owner of the castle lives in this manor house called Clonalis House, and they own also this sort of small attached self-catering carriage homes in which we rent as well. This is a typical kitchen in any one of the homes that we rent, and this is a typical living room in one of these homes. So you're living in a home with some of the other students and some of the staff. We're getting catered food at one of the pubs. We're preparing our own breakfasts, and our lunches are either prepared at home or you can have a catered lunch, and that's all included. So if you have any questions, you can definitely send me an email here or give me a call. Here are some of them. The applications are found online at the Department of Anthropology at Foothill College's website. The cost this year is $29.50, which is a great price for a month in Ireland. The classes are, you're taking 12 units of classes, and whether you'd have fun, that would be yes, definitely. So thank you for your time, and I hope this has been informative.